Good day to everyone. Welcome to Magister Servus webinar workshop on innovative assessment for 21st century learners. This program has 5 CPD credit units granted by the Professional Regulation Commission. I'm your host today, Mr. Edgar Nueva. So before we have an opening prayer, okay, can I ask everyone to click the heart react button just to check if we are ready to begin with the session today. Thank you so much for the response. Again, we are expecting 37 attendees for this program. Others are disconnected, maybe due to connectivity issue. So let's begin our session with an opening prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering us all today in this important endeavor. We ask that you bestow your guidance and blessing upon each attendee. May we honor one another by keeping an open mind. May we voice our truth and listen with an open heart. Bless everyone present today, that each may be able to share his or her contributions and gifts. Grant good health and safety to loved ones left outside this room, and bestow peace and goodwill to all of us. We ask for your wisdom and grace to use our talents for the betterment of others. May the various activities related to this day be a success through your intervention. With gratitude, we offer this prayer in your name. Amen.
So once again, good afternoon. So let's dive into our main session today. So let me introduce our resource speaker for today. Miss Marylyn is a graduate of BS Chemical Engineering course of Pamantasang Lungsod ng Maynila. She had her MA in Teaching Mathematics at De La Salle University, Manila. She had worked as a math teacher and assistant principal for academics affairs at Don Bosco, Mandaluyong City. Currently, she is a math teacher and department head at ACS International School, Doha, Qatar. She had been with Magister Servus as foreign affiliate from Qatar, facilitating topics on pedagogy and assessment. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, to share with us today about roles of assessment, benefits, and challenges of using artificial intelligence in assessment. Join me in welcoming Ms. Marylyn Dominguez. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi, Sir Edgar. Is my audio clear po? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I heard from Mr. Edgar that we are expecting more than 20 attendees, but I know that there are only 4 so far, 6 including Magister Service and I. So, good morning, Miss Ana Teresa, Sir Erwin, Jaron, and Miss Maribeth. So I hope that most of the attendees will be able to join this webinar, okay, as we progress towards the discussion. I'll be sharing my screen so you can see from your end the discussion today. Sir Edgar, are we looking at the same screen? Are
Yes,
you
ma'am.
seeing A3? Okay. So I'll just want to focus first on what had transpired in the last 2 days. I know that you had discussion with Dr. Mary Grace Lim, okay, about 21st century skill and evolution of assessments. And also I have seen that yesterday you were able to discuss this innovative assessment forms with, let me just scroll down, with the webinar speaker yesterday. Let me just scroll down. Okay, Miss Raquel Francisco. So today, as mentioned by Sir Nueva, Mr. Edgar, I will be focusing on the roles of assessments, its benefits and challenges in the context of AI or artificial intelligence in assessments. Are you seeing the Canva presentation right now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so good morning. I am Miss Marylyn, and as from the introduction of Mr. Nueva, I'm currently teaching at an international school in Doha, Qatar. And I've been teaching here for 6 years. I'm also the head of the department of the mathematics. I'm leading the mathematics team. So what I was surprised about this assignment again from Magister Servus was that I'm happy because at least from the I think it was two webinars ago where I have introduced this trend in education in one of my presentation, and now that it was part of this assessment discussion in the Philippine setting, I am very much excited on how the Filipino teachers will start to open their minds and then start embracing the reality of the use of AI in the in the Philippine educational system. So I have here some important or relevant topics related to assessments in general, and of course, gearing towards the use of AI in assessment. So I am presently connected to an international school where the curriculum is International Baccalaureate. And so I'll be able to share with you some personal experiences which we are using in school, or some personal or school-based platform that we are using in school related to AI, and the benefits and the challenges of that in assessment design, in giving assessment feedback, and so on. So I'll start to open the presentation. Okay. Okay. So I know that you are familiar of any webinar essential agreement. Since the onset of the pandemic, we are aware that we can actually transcend the boundaries of the physical place and the physical function room to share our expertise, our experiences, to share benchmarks and all. So on the screen right now, you can see how we can actually collaborate through this webinar on how we can actually enrich each other's experiences in the context of the webinar topic. So the most important thing, I think that is needed for us to ensure is to ensure that learning is positive, engaging, and fun. So through collaborative discussions and question and answer later on, we might have some avenues for you to ask questions and for me to somehow give my answers to those questions. Let me know and let Magister Service know. Okay, thank you very much, and let's start. So the discussion parameters of this webinar will focus more on specifically the role of assessment in learning. I know that you have a lot of inputs, you have your own definition and you have your own examples to this, let me just share with you some of relevant rules of assessment that we are considering also in the global perspective as I am teaching in an international school with a lot of expat students or international students coming from different parts of the world. And then it will also focus on how AI or artificial intelligence actually is being realized in its application, its pros and cons in the education setup. And then, of course, we will try to focus more on the assessment side of it. Okay? So I know that there are only 6 participants so far, or 5, I think. I have here a QR code and to a Padlet. If you have an extra phone or an extra device aside from a laptop, or if you're doing the Zoom meeting over the phone, you can just screen the QR code, and so you can answer these 3 questions here that is in the Padlet resource. I have the questions: what grade level are you teaching, so that we will know and I will know from you what kind of participants am I catering at the moment. How many years have you been teaching, so we can collaborate more on the expertise of the subject, and of course your benchmark experiences in private or public school. So I just want to know from the group, the participants, what grade level are you teaching? How many years have you been teaching? You can utilize the Padlet, but because we have only 5 participants so far, you can also utilize the chat box for you to answer these questions, okay? Maybe I can give you like a minute or 2 to do that. I have so far, let me see the names of the participants. Okay, I have Miss Ana Teresa. Let me just know which grade level are you teaching, how many years are you teaching, and then is it a private or school affiliate, private or public school affiliation? You can use the chat box as well. Mr. Erwin, Jaron, Marybeth, and Russell. Okay. So I have here answers. I know that you can see from the screen that you are anonymous. Okay. Well, okay. 9 years TLE subject. Okay. Grade 3. Okay. So lower school or elementary. Grade 7. I know for grade 3 it is, I know that it's actually, what do you call that? You have to teach all the subject areas, right? Or the subject courses. And then I have Miss Ana Teresa, grade 6, 5 years, public school. Oh, Miss Ana Teresa, I'm also a math teacher. Good morning po, 16 years in teaching MAPE, grade 8. Okay, Miss Marybeth, thank you. Okay, so somehow we have at least, even if we're only 5, we have only 5 participants, we can see that we can learn a lot from this variety of teachers in the room. We have TLE teachers, elementary, junior high school teachers, we have math, we have senior high school to, no, I'm teaching grade 12. We also have junior high school and senior high school public school teacher. Bicol Sorsogon, okay. We also have, I don't know, everyone I think is from public school. Okay, so most probably I know that there will be some challenges. That's part of the challenge actually of how you can benefit from the use of AI, specifically in terms of classroom-based teaching and learning process. But I'm pretty sure, as I have trusted and I have high regards to public school teachers on how your creativity were tested from the onset of moving from, from face-to-face school to modularized or online school setting, we can also somehow benefit from the discussions today related to AI, that one of the focus of AI, the necessity for AI to be maximized is through the use of technology. And I know some public school teachers, especially in the provinces, are being challenged by, of course, budget, other concerns related to teaching and learning, such as uh, what they call that, facilities. And so let's try to just open our minds on how we can, as teachers, public school teachers, be able to benefit from this. And maybe we'll never know, later on, you can pilot, okay, uh, either one classroom in your school or either one class in your school, to be able to somehow create an AI directed classroom instruction. So we'll see. And I know that hopefully we'll be able to look towards that direction. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing everything that you have so far, so we can learn from each other. Like, how many years have you been teaching? I'm very interested with how public school teachers, TLE teachers, address the concerns with technology, especially that we are facing facilities issues and budget issues in the public school. So be free to ask questions in the chat box or collaborate with us in the chat box, and then maybe later on we can be able to look at those questions and discussions. Okay, thank you. Okay, so at the start, I'm thinking of how this webinar will be somehow look into a different perspective. As we know, assessment is something that is inevitable. It is part of the curriculum. The written, the taught, and the assessed curriculum are very relevant and basic, and the foundational part of the teaching and learning process. So it is actually a roadmap. Okay. There is a starting point now that we are into our um, conventional assessment process of pen and paper, okay, especially in the public school. And also we are in that conventional and our comfort zone of assessing the students using the conventional assessment forms, like multiple questions, for English teacher, writing essays, or for math teachers, solving problems. So those are conventional. And I am not saying that you have to get rid of that, but we have to look at the bigger perspective in the context of global awareness. What I am seeing right here is that from the program which was shared with me from Magister Servus, I believe the reason or the objective of the 3-day uh, webinar is not just to focus on assessment, but to look at how the Philippine education is now being challenged by the global, okay, results in terms of math and science specifically. But of course, the language and all other courses are directed towards these challenges as well. So what I want you to focus on is to just open your mind. I know it might not happen now or in the next months or in the next year, but maybe you can you can advocate for this direction, and to open this up to the leadership team, to your supervisor, to your principals, to your district supervisors later on. And so we might not be able to have this on our hands right now, but maybe, and I am looking into those possibilities and optimistic views on how we can actually succeed from here. It's a roadmap, and the end in mind is always towards the perspective of the learner. Okay. Of course, the teaching and learning process is given, but I know for a fact that all educators' objective is to make sure that their students learn at the end of the class, at the end of the day, end of the quarter, at the end of the school year, at the end of elementary, and or at the end, whatever our goal is, whatever is that point that we are looking into, that finish line, for example, from our own point of view, our goal is to define how student learned or how student achieve learning in our day-to-day class discussion. And so we are part of it as teachers. The curriculum is, okay, it's the map. We as teachers are the guide. And of course, the passengers in here are the students. And of course, the destination is their potential to success. Okay? We have to journey with them. So it doesn't matter if I'm a kindergarten teacher, I'm an elementary teacher, a university professor, or even in the field of in the university. I know that the curriculum is now designed in a way that students are having internship prior to graduation, so that they'll be able to expose themselves to the actual professional world. Okay? So nag-evolve din po ang university curriculum right now. So it doesn't matter kung nasaan tayong state right now and kung ano yung kinikater nating age group pagdating sa classroom. Okay? So let's journey towards that. I hope that I can be able to somehow give my share my experiences and give some relevant outputs today. Okay. So I have here an image. It says the role of assessment in learning focuses on these four. Okay, measuring learning outcomes, identifying learning gaps, personalized instruction, motivating students. Okay, so POV, the point, the millennial right now is into Instagram, social media. So the 7 participants that I have in the room right now, or 6 participants, what is your point of view in this image that is on your screen? So again, please, let's utilize the chat box. I'll be giving you a minute or two to think of what do you think is the role of assessment, or what is your point of view in the image that you're seeing on screen. Okay, so we can wait for your reply or your answers in the chat box. Earlier, we were able to somehow provide our answers there. Do you think assessment should focus more on just measuring learning outcomes? Just like what we have, what we were trained before. For example, when I was a student, produkto din po ako ng public school teaching sa Pilipinas, elementary, high school, and college. So alam ko po yun na kapag ka ina-assess or may exams or may quarterly test tayo before, it focuses on our measurement, how the teachers measures us in terms of the grading system in relation to that. Okay? So ano po sa palagay ninyo? What is your point of view as teachers in the context of ano po kaya yung role ng assessment sa teaching learning process? So your perspective based on your experiences, your perspective based on the image you're seeing on the board or on screen. Okay? So personalized instruction, motivating students, and identifying learning gaps. So I'm still waiting for the rest to share their answers, but Maybe as you are thinking about what you can share to the participants or to the room right now, in the room right now, I will just go back to the chat box and then proceed to this. Okay. Basically, what we are aiming for is success, right? Whether you define that success of at the end of the day, the student was able to add 1-digit numbers, or at the end of the day, the student was able to learn how to plant, or to identify which soil, or to identify which fertilizer, or to identify which drawing technique is appropriate for this art, for example. Or at the end of the day or the lesson, you just want them to learn what matter is in science, or the definition, or the different phases of, or the different phases of matter. Our goal is for students to learn something, that at the end of the lesson, they have something in their mind, add additional concept, an additional definition, an additional skill. Okay? But as for example, as a kindergarten teacher, pag natutunan na ng bata magsulat ng letters, alphabet, or yung abacada, or mag magbasa ng word, ng isang salita sa Tagalog, kung yun yung objective for the day, it's fine. It's very, very valid. But the role of assessment basically should not focus on a day-to-day basis. The general picture that we have to look into is, yun nga, yung sabi ko kanina, it's the end in mind. And our end in mind is not just locally to produce students who are capable and who have potential to be successful, but they can also extend that to being globally competitive. So we basically consider that as a personal growth. Iba-iba po yung konsepto ng personal growth, but whether that personal growth is skill-based, whether that personal growth is life skill in the context of life skill, whether that personal growth is communication, improvement in communication skill, improvement in their confidence, improvement in their mindset, improvement in their mathematical skills, TLE skills, physical education skills, or whatever is are you focusing on in the classroom. The global perspective should focus on, it should be transformative. And for us to assure that we are looking into that transformative learning direction, we have to provide experiences which are not just focused on what our subject courses are, not just focus on the subject courses objective. Okay? So alam po natin na pag nagde-design tayo ng assessment, we have to define our objectives. And our objectives, I know that technically there are several types of objectives. There's the Bloom's taxonomy and all of those that we have learned in school before and we are implementing in as teachers right now. We just need to somehow extend the ladder in a way that we are targeting our learners to achieve some personal growth after each assessment. For example po, sa math, of course, kung nagbigay ka ng 5 question, I can share my experience as a math teacher. 5 question checkpoint or exit ticket or seat work or kahit ano pong term yung gamitin natin doon, ang expectation po natin is yung estudyante should be able to show yung working out niya or yung solution process niya. Tama po ba? So kapag wala siyang sagot or mali yung sagot niya, pero tama yung method or tama lahat, it doesn't end with, oh okay, meron kang 3 out of 5. or yung estudyante 0 out of 5, or yung isang estudyante 5 out of 5, then the judgment comes from that, right? Okay. Para sa akin po, yung personal growth ng bata in math doesn't end there. Whether they get a correct mark, 5 out of 5. Ngayon po na mas malawak yung perspective ko sa assessment, mas tinitingnan ko po yung growth ng bata. For example, kung 0 out of 5 yung bata, bakit? So it's not just about the what was the score or what was the level of achievement. It should be more on the why. Bakit 3 out of 5 lang siya? Bakit 0 siya? Bakit 5 out of 5 yung bata? Kaya pa ba nitong i-extend? Yung 0 out of 5, ano yung mga kailangan niya? So it is something about me reflecting as a teacher, and is something about the student reflecting on his own learning. Okay, yung maiko-communicate ng bata, bakit ako 0? Ano yung mga kailangan kong skills? Hindi ko ba talaga alam? Kailangan ko ba ng tulong? That will lead to a different skill set, right? Communication skill, yung confidence ng bata na mag-advocate for himself. Bakit 3 lang ako? Bakit hindi mo po ako binigyan ng 4? Or if I got a 5, pwede mo ba akong mabigyan ng more advanced or more complex problem? If a student started to talk about that and to discuss that with you, or you encourage or prompt your student to deal with that moment, yung achievement niya at the moment, that is the very basic for me. The very basic of personal growth in learning. Hindi na po siya nakabase sa score. Yung day-to-day po but we will talk about, of course, the accountability later on. So the role of assessment is not just anymore to give marks, okay? To just get some number na pwede nating i-record, okay, sa gradebook natin, but something that will tell us as teachers and inform us as teachers and inform the learners on how much I was able to achieve from point 1 to point 2, or how much more should I give and should I improve on from point 1 to point 5, something like that. Yun po yung para sa akin, we should look towards that goal instead of just making sure that we have an assessment and then may record natin yun. So I have here a roughly 3-minute video looking into that perspective of assessment na hindi lang po classroom bound. Okay? So that we can help students realize that assessment is not something that na dapat nilang katakutan. Okay? And then later on, paano na yung AI, paano na yung konsepto ng assessment dun sa reality ngayon that everyone almost into AI na, specifically those who are yung mga bata po natin na mas advanced pa sa atin pagdating sa technology. Okay, so let's watch this video po.
Assessment is all around us. If you're a skater at a skate park, you're engaging in self-assessment every time you reflect on your progress and plan your next steps. If you're a runner training for a marathon, you look at time splits and compare it to your goals. If you're a musician, you're engaging in assessment every time you listen to yourself play and make modifications to your approach. As an author, you engage in...
Sorry. Wait. Balik ko lang po dun sa ano. So you can view the... Okay. You can view the screen.
Assessment is all around us. If you're a skater at a skate park, you're engaging in self-assessment every time you reflect on your progress and plan your next steps. If you're a runner training for a marathon, you look at time splits and compare it to your goals. If you're a musician, you're engaging in assessment every time you listen to yourself play and make modifications to your approach. As an author, you engage in self-assessment when you revise your work, and it's not always individual. Often assessment will happen in community. If you're a chef, you're engaging in peer assessment when you ask a trusted fellow chef, how does this taste? If you're an artist, you might ask for an extra set of eyes on a particular project. If you're an engineer, you might observe users to see if your design is working. And if you do any kind of creative work, both self-assessment and peer assessment are vital for improving your craft. It helps you refine your process and helps you improve your products. Assessment helps us figure out what we know, what we don't know, and what steps we need to take in the future to master a skill or understand a concept at a deeper level. Okay, but what does this mean in the classroom? Well, it starts with self-assessment. Here, students engage in goal setting, where they set goals, plan their approach, and keep track of the progress. They also engage in self-reflections. Here, they can reflect on the learning process, but also focus on the strengths and weaknesses of their products, which then leads to new iterations. A similar option is a student survey with multiple choice, checkboxes, and Likert scales. In some cases, students might use a self-assessment rubric. Students are able to look at the progression from emerging to mastery with specific descriptions in various categories. They are able to gain an accurate view on what they are doing while also having a clear picture of where they need to be. Students might also use checklists. These can be a powerful diagnostic tool that students use before, during, and after a specific task. When projects are done, they can present their work in a portfolio where they reflect on what they've learned. Peer assessment is also important. One option is the 10-minute peer feedback system. This begins with one student sharing their work or pitching an idea while the other student actively listens. It then moves to a chance to ask clarifying questions, get feedback, respond to feedback, and chart out your next steps. Another option is structured feedback with sentence stems. This is especially helpful for ELL students. Or you could use the 3-2-1 structure. Now, this is simple. Students provide 3 strengths, 2 areas of improvement, and 1 question that they still have. Another option is the peer feedback carousel. Here, each group has a stack of sticky notes, and they offer anonymous feedback as they move from group to group to group. Or you could keep it more open-ended with peer coaching. Students interview each other about the process, they guide reflection, and they provide feedback. Now, we often think of classroom assessment as a conversation between teachers and students. But in life, students won't always have a teacher to grade their work or give them necessary feedback. And this is why we need self-assessment and peer assessment every day. The more we can integrate this into our lessons, the better prepared students will be for the creative life.
Okay, so I hope just like me, you have note down some very relevant terminologies there. And also you were able to somehow reflect on the big picture of assessment. For me, the key terminologies that were hit me somehow in that video was that assessment is not just about, just like what I told you earlier, it's not just about my answers, okay? It's not just about my result. It is more about being able to modify, being able to iterate, being able to refine. And then from that process that I am trusted to address my own weaknesses and correct my mistakes, for example, I'll be able to learn life skills which are which overrule everything that is subject, subject focus in that assessment paper. So, ang ibig ko pong sabihin dito, yung pong correctness or yung tama at mali dun sa answers natin, it's fine. It's objectively, it should be there. But the bigger picture is that you should be able to somehow give opportunities for your students, especially during formative assessment, to modify, to improve, to refine, to iterate their works or their products. Sa TLE, I know medyo nagpo-produce kayo ng mga product. Based dun po sa in-emphasize din sa video, dun sa conversation between the teacher and the learner. So there should be something about you and the learner dun po sa assessment na hindi lang nag-end sa you being the judge pagdating po sa pagbigay sa kanya ng mark or sa pagbigay sa kanya ng score. You being able to journey with your students on how you give feedback in a way that makikita ng student, okay, ito yung mali ko, I have to accept that, pero paano ako mag-i-improve? Kayo po yung guide, tayo po yung guide doon. So, ang isang malaking konsepto din po that was mentioned in the video is the concept of reflection. So most of the time, now that we are into AI, most of our students only capitalize on the convenience of it. So, makakakuha na ako agad ng answer sa math question through AI help, or makakakuha na agad ako ng essay na hindi na ako mag-iisip, na napakaganda ng pagkaka-phrase ng essay. Isang click lang ng button, but more of yung skill po ng reflective thinking. Yung reflective thinking meaning i-discern ng bata or natin yung sagot ng bata. Is this really an answer from a 5-year-old kid, for example? Or is this essay a grade 5 student, can that student really write this very what do you call this? This essay na gumagamit ng words which are not even used in class sa grade 5, from kindergarten to grade 5 classroom. I know may mga exceptional tayong learners, may mga gifted tayo, pero kayo po as teachers yung nakakaalam kung ano yung level ng skill ng bata. So yung reflection ng bata dun sa kung ano yung available sa kanya, at kayo din po as teachers kung ano yung kakayahan ng bata, so that we can provide them with relevant and necessary feedback for their focusing on their own personal growth. Hindi po yung pag nagpasa ng essay, for example, yung grade 7 na student, because we are pressed dun sa deadline ng grades, nakita natin na sobrang ganda ng essay. I know that we as teachers are capable of reflecting, hindi to galing sa bata na to. So doon papasok yung ibang skills like academic honesty, yung skills ng bata that I should not copy or plagiarize work, or I should learn the actual math of it, okay, the actual math process out of it, or kailangan kong matuto muna ng ganitong steps bago ko maaral yung most complex problem type. Okay, so that is what I got from that video. So I hope you were able to get something out of it as well. Sa last part ng video, it was mentioned that we should learn from the context of hindi lang naman habang buhay nasa classroom yung mga estudyante natin. Most of the time, they are out, okay, sa bahay, sa streets, with friends, sa restaurants, sa palaruan, all of those environments which may provide learning, personal growth sa mga bata, kailangan nare-realize nila yung skills na natututunan nila sa school. That whenever they have something na skill na natututunan, for example, pagbabike, okay? Paggawa ng cage, ng pet cage nila, for example, sa TLE, or paggawa ng logo, for example. Naalala ko po nung nasa high school ako, sa TLE namin, tinuruan kami kung paano gumawa ng logo gamit po yung cutter, gamit yung iba-ibang tools sa school. So, for example, ano po ba yung mga skills outside that na pwede nating i-cover related to assessment? Of course, yun nga, yung pag mali sila, we give feedback, maitatama nila, and then they can improve, okay? And then they can actually be given motivation to be more creative, to think outside the box. So, nangyayari lang yun dun sa conversation between the learner and the teacher. So I hope you get some very relevant. The video was really helpful for me when I watched that before. Okay. So I have here on the screen the yesterday and today of assessment. Okay? Um, guilty po tayo dyan. Tayo mismo yung naka-experience nito before, except siguro yung mga very young pa na teachers. But me as a teacher for 23 years, I have experienced this before, that assessment were just being done, that we only teach the scope and sequence of adopted text. Naturuan po tayo ng whole group or using teachers editions as lesson plan. Yung computer lab settings to play learning games, hindi masyado before. Administer end of unit or chapter test and or teacher developed exam. Minsan po may mga standardized exam din, I know. Use data as one-time event for report cards. Yung data po natin na tinatawag before is yung report card grades lang or yung gradebook natin. Okay? Yun po yung konteksto natin ng quantitative data before. But as we move from then and now, the concept or the context of assessment is now bounded by not just quantitative data but qualitative data as well. Yun yung sinasabi ko po na tayo mismong teachers yung makakapag-quantify and qualify ng mga data na yon, depende doon sa objective ng assessment natin in class. So now we actually employ valid assessment. Yung context po ng valid assessments, we know that that is very technical, but we also use data to monitor student progress and improve instruction. So it's not just being used to judge anymore, but to improve instruction and to monitor student progress. Align curriculum, instruction, and assessment to academic standards. So meron po tayong tinatawag na sa DepEd, I know, yung matatag curriculum ng DepEd, may dinevelop na nila and minodify nila yung mga standards nila that should be aligned with the global standard. So the Philippine education system is really trying to improve in a way that ina-address nila yung mga concerns. I know medyo mabagal, I know na maraming challenges, but at least nandoon na po tayo sa stage na tinitingnan na natin yung kahit na malayo pa tayo dun sa ladder or sobrang baba natin sa ladder, at least we are reflecting on how we can actually improve. Okay. So we are aware of this, okay? And we are also aware that the assessment is not just student focused. It is something that will inform us teachers on how we can change the discussion for the day. Yes, meron tayong lesson plan na generic for the week, but of course, hindi natin na-realize yung weekly objective natin because the dynamics is the class dynamics, hindi natin sure. I mean, hindi yun fixed yung class dynamics. So for example, meron lang isang student na nagpasaway, hindi na natin natapos yung objective natin for the day. So the assessment will inform us on how we can improve the next day and on how we can target the required objectives for the quarter, for example. And we also have to somehow focus on this, that assessment is not something to be afraid of, but something to guide the students. So the student should somehow feel, ito po yung yung nagagawa ng human, us as human teachers, okay, as teachers, yung human intervention versus the AI assessment process. Kasi tayo, yung AI, ginigradean lang niya yan. Of course, nakaka-save tayo ng time, na-ensure tayo na medyo yung design ng assessment na address. Pero yung pagdating po sa human intervention, nasa teacher na po yun. Kung paano natin i-guide and makakasama yung bata sa journey niya towards the progress. Okay? So, ito po yung attitude, wala namang ganyan yung AI. For example, of course, may information, it can provide practice, it can target new skills to develop, and of course, whether that student achieved a new level or nag-stagnate siya or medyo bumaba yung student pagdating sa achievement ng skill set na yon. At tayo yung nakaka-determine, tayo pa rin yung dapat mag-reflect dun sa data, sa sa results na nakukuha natin or sa everyday discussion or everyday experiences natin sa classroom. And so, this is the last slide. This is the last slide for, related to assessment in general, okay? And then, papunta na po ako dun sa discussions natin on AI-based assessment. So, in a nutshell, we are aware that there is a formative assessment, which is also assessment for learning. I know you had a lot of inputs from the past 2 days from the webinar presenter. But I know that you are aware that it focuses more on improvement. And so feedback is very much relevant in formative assessment for us to define the success of formative assessment. It is not solely on the results, okay? It's the progress. And then, of course, we have assessment of learning. These are the authentic and summative assessment we are running in class as per the guidance of the DepEd curriculum model. Assessment curriculum model. But this is something related to accountability na after ng formative assessment, nag-improve ka, tinake mo yung mga feedback ko, tapos ito yung naging result ng summative assessment mo. Of course, the life skill is accountable ka dapat. Kung bumagsak ka dyan or pumasa ka or nag-improve ka, that is something that is really a judgment after a semester, after a quarter, or after whatsoever you define the assessment timetable is. So, ito pong terminologies na to, improvement and accountability, are skills embedded in assessment na hindi lang nakafocus sa numbers or hindi lang nakafocus sa judgment. These are life skills. The students needs to know na kahit nasa elementary siya, high school or senior high school, the student has to be aware, may self-awareness siya to self-assess his or her improvement in class or dun sa skills na kinover natin. And the student has to be aware that he is accountable kung ano man yung nakuha niyang result out of it. Kasi sa real life po, sa totoong mundo, whether sa job, sa workplace po yan, or sa bahay, okay po? Or sa regular experiences nila sa labas ng classroom, lagi naman pong merong areas for improvement. Kaya nga 'di ba minsan may mga terms yung mga millennial ngayon, don't invalidate my effort, parang ganon, 'di ba? Kasi kahit papaano naman I can define my improvement doon sa konteksto ko ng improvement. Okay? Or yung sense of accountability sa bahay, for example, pag may hindi ka nagawang house chores or meron kang date na hindi na-achieve, meron ka lang date na pinagbayad ka ng bill, tapos hindi mo yun nabayad at naputulan kayo ng ilaw, yung mga ganong scenarios po, na accountable ka doon. And so, the student has to be aware that assessment is not just focus on how they can progress from a skill, but it should focus more, it should also focus on the accountability in terms of results and expectation. May standards kasi. So, ngayon alam nila na yung pag nagagawa sila ng content sa Facebook, may mga bata po tayong mas kumikita pa sa atin ng malaki as teachers. Yung mga content creator, influencers, alam nila na accountable sila sa YouTube, for example. Kapag nag-create sila ng content na hindi pumapasa sa standards ng YouTube or hindi pumapasa sa standards ng Facebook Reels or hindi pumapasa sa standards ng Instagram or ng TikTok, for example. Kasi although global yon, meron dinedefine na standards yung mga platforms na to in order for them to monetize yung creativity nila or yung job nila or product nila as content creators. So I hope you are able to somehow connect what we are doing in class to what are the expectations in the real world. Okay, so it is our job somehow we should embrace it to design assessment kasi tayo naman po yung nagde-design talaga. It is our role, it is our responsibility as teachers to provide students with learning experiences side by side with assessments that are relevant, both relevant and engaging. Okay? So, of course, yung paper and pen, hindi na po masyadong engaging yan sa bata ngayon. Public school teachers, I understand, but you might be able to look for another avenue. Of course, not just to focus on paper and pen assessment, another avenue. Alam ko yung mga PETA natin in class, alam ko napakagaling ng mga public school teachers on how you design your performance task. Those are really engaging, authentic assessments. So, keep it up and then collaborate, hindi lang po sa inyong department, hindi lang po sa inyong schools, sa grade level, but you can also collaborate with other public school teachers. Ako po as an international school teacher, I usually join Facebook professional groups para makita ko po yung new trends and current trends sa pagtuturo sa international school. You can also join those groups. I'm not sure kung merong public school teacher group sa Facebook or sa other platforms, social media platforms, but it really helps to be able to collaborate with them. Ano ba yung naging challenges nila? Anong benchmarks meron sila? Ano yung meron ako na pwede kong i-share? And so these are very healthy professional groups. So marami po akong nakukuha out of those groups. So sana meron din yun sa public school and of course private schools as well. Okay. Eto na po, current trends. Okay, so we are now, after having some basic and foundational inputs on assessments, we are now facing with this challenge, or we are also faced with opportunities. Okay, I want to see it both as a challenge and opportunity. I know challenge kasi magkakaiba tayo ng perspective ng challenge, no? Kasi halimbawa, sa international school, mas marami kaming provision in terms of facilities. Pero sa public school and generally sa Philippines, wala masyado or medyo challenge yun sa ibang school, ibang teachers or educators sa Pilipinas. Okay, so nung parang, I believe, pag tinignan niyo po itong itong date na to, January 2025, a year, more than a year ago, when the ChatGPT or this AI or artificial intelligence concern, yung kumbaga, matagal na to pero parang medyo umingay siya last year. And then, nung isa sa mga seminar ko with Magister Servos, I was able to somehow share a glimpse to what is AI. And it's yung ingay nung time na yun. So, may mga YouTube videos and articles po ako dito, which will somehow, pag shinare ko yung presentation, you can view those. Hindi ko po papapanoorin sa inyo or papabasa yung mga articles na yan. Pero it was, for me as an educator, it was more than a year ago when I was, kahit sa school namin, umingay po yun sa international school setting. To tell you honestly, International Baccalaureate program is very, very much into academic integrity. Na yung plagiarism, meron po kaming ginagamit na Turnitin platform para mag-check ng plagiarized work. And so kapag pinasok mo doon yung report ng bata, i-mention niya kung ilang percent yung similarity index noon sa ibang school submitted na work or sa web submitted na work. So nung time na to, dahil ang AI po, to tell you honestly, hindi siya nade-detect ng turn it in before. Pero ngayon po, nag-evolve na rin yung mga platforms na yon. I'm happy, we were happy na dinedefine na rin po ng mga platform na yon kung ilang percent yung AI, yung percent ng work ng bata na AI-based. Ngayon, ang ginawa po ng IB, ng International Baccalaureate Program, hindi po nila inalis yung idea na to sa operations nila. In-embrace po nila in a way that ang ginawa ng IB, pinayagan nila yung mga estudyante who are doing IB courses, who are enrolled in IB courses to cite their work kung galing siya sa AI. So parang they actually opened their mind that AI now is an open resource. Parang pong Google na siya, para na siyang ibang resource gate or whatever we have online right now. We just need to cite. The student just need to cite them. So sabihin, syempre hindi mo pwedeng yung buong work mo, essay mo, or whatsoever is from AI because you can. Students can. Tapos may level lang ng percentage ng AI similarity yung inaalaw ng IB, something like that. So basically, ina-address na to ngayon. Yung challenge namin before, a year ago, is now being addressed, and so medyo lumawak na yung use ng AI or yung pag-embrace ng AI sa international or sa global context. Okay, so the next slide is there. Again, Padlet. Okay, you can scan using your phone or another device. Pwede rin naman pong sa chat box nyo isagutin. Gusto ko lang malaman ano yung meron na kayong alam about AI. Aside from the acronym, okay? Kahit ano. Parang kapag sa classroom po, no, whatever you know about the topic or the word or the concept, let me know po. Okay, I'll be giving you a minute or two. Meron po tayo ditong 4 quadrants. What are the things we are aware of and understand about AI? Things we are aware of but do not understand about AI. Pwede namang wala talaga po tayo pang awareness and understanding. And unknown din po kapag naiintindihan natin but we are not aware of. So, let's pause for a minute or two. I will also share my Padlet link in the chat box so that kahit wala po kayong phone, extra phone, you can actually access that link here sa chat box po. There. Andyan na po sa chat box natin. Okay? So I'll give you time to do that. A minute or two. And let me check how many participants we have right now. We have Miss Ana Teresa, Chen, Erwin, Geran, Maribeth, and Russell. Don't hesitate para hindi tayo mga estudyante. Kung wala talaga, I don't know anything about it. Just let me know so that I'll be able to somehow address kung ano yung general picture ng participants natin today about this artificial intelligence. So I'll mute for a minute or two. Okay? I'll be giving you 1 minute to fill out the Padlet or maximize the use of the chat box po. Just in case wala kayong extra device or wala kayong means to connect to the Padlet. Okay, thank you. Okay. So I'll check po yung Padlet kung meron na tayong entries. But don't be pressured. We can actually make use of those platforms later. Yeah, wala pa po tayong comment. Anyway, okay. So let's proceed. Maybe you can utilize the Padlet later, so I'll be able to somehow go back to the to your answers and inputs there. Okay, so I'll be proceeding with the next part of the webinar. Let me just present again. Okay, so let me give you some initial input on what AI is, okay, and what is it capable of, okay? Sa screen, let me know po, are you seeing the the Canva screen, presentation screen? Kahit yung like button lang po. Are you seeing the Canva presentation screen right now? Okay, there is a message in the chat box. Yes po. Okay, thank you, Miss Ana Teresa. Okay, so what I will do here, I was surprised actually. Nung gumagawa ako recently ng Canva presentation, I was surprised na meron ng AI, embedded AI ang Canva. Okay? And ngayon lang po, nakikita ko sa screen ko sa Zoom, I'm not sure kung nakikita nyo rin, na meron na pong AI companion ang Zoom. Makikita nyo po yung parang dalawang star. It says AI companion. I haven't tried the Zoom features, but I have tried the Canva features. So pag click ko po ito, if you can see the screen right now, I can increase the size so it will be more visible. The size of the screen. So for example, sorry, that was too big. Okay. So for example, dito po sa cell na to, nakalagay po definition of terms, right? So as I type the definition of terms there, makikita niyo po na pwede ko siyang i-edit. Lalabas po yung magic right na button. Tas basically yung AI po na icon is yung parang mga stars. Okay? Or diamonds, whatsoever. Okay? So pag click yung magic right, lalabas po yung itong options na to sa drop down. I can fix the spelling here. Okay? Hindi ko na po kailangan ng Grammarly sa Canva. Okay? If I click on the magic right, pag ang audience ko po mga bata at sobrang yung definition of terms ay sobrang formal, I can click on more fun. See, lalabas po siya. Bibigyan niya ako ng option na medyo millennial yung sound, defining the undefinable. Okay? Pero syempre kayo po yung magde-decide kung ano ba yung mag-work sa audience nyo. For example, more formal. If I click that, it still gives me the same. But for example, spring, yung medyo fancy na words, unveiling the unfathomable. Okay, so there and then, hindi ko na kailangan pumunta i-copy and paste. Usually po before, i-copy and paste natin sa Google, tapos type natin synonyms, right? Tapos mamimili po tayo ng mga words na, oh my God, these words are, na parang hindi siya catchy dun sa audience ko. So ando dun na siya, embedded na po siya sa Canva itself. And this is actually an AI feature of Canva. Okay? Tapos syempre may Canva Pro na magpo-provides pa ng additional, but at least the free account will give you those already. Okay? And then another feature is this one. So for example, i-define ko yung artificial intelligence. So what will I do is the technical definition, kaka-copy and paste ko yan, sa search ko sa Google, mamimili ako sa Google ng iba-ibang definition. But here in Canva, if you click that, click magic right, continue writing, it will provide you right there and then. This is a free account po. Teachers, this is a free account. At hindi po ako nagpo-promote, okay? I am just making sense of what we are expecting right now as AI-generated educators. I mean, AI directed educators. Nakita niyo po, this came from the AI embedded in Canva. Pwede na po niyang i-define yung AI right there and then. I-increase nyo na lang po yung font size. Basahin po natin yung definition dito ng AI coming from Canva. Okay? And I can highlight here this one. Okay? The activities that can be provided by AI can be focused on problem solving, learning, perception, and even decision making. Okay? So AI technology has made significant advancement in recent year, ranging from virtual assistants like Siri. Di ba kung meron po kayong iPhone, Siri po si iPhone. Si Alexa naman po ay I think sa Android or sa bahay ata yan. Basta something like kapareha siya ni Siri na yun po si Siri and Alexa is AI na po siya. To self-driving cars. Yan po mga ano natin, e-cars ngayon, electronic cars, and facial recognition software. As researchers continue to push the boundaries of AI capabilities, the possibilities for the future of this technology are truly endless. Imagine creating a presentation which will, alam niyo po ngayon yung convenience na po yung market, yung minamarket ng lahat ng technology or platforms ngayon. Yung, alam niyo po, sa totoo lang, kahit hindi tayo millennial, kapag gumagamit na tayo ng lahat, Android phones, whatsoever, smart, and other platforms, let's accept it. We are into one-click technology. Ayaw na po natin nung pupunta pa ako dito para makita ko to, ganyan, di ba? Kaya mapapansin niyo po si GCash nag-e-evolve. Mapapansin niyo po yung mga Lazada na apps nag-e-evolve. Yung mga Shopee na apps nag-e-evolve. Kasi yung client po ngayon gusto nila one-stop shop. Gusto nila nandun na lahat. So ako personally po na hindi ako nasa Pilipinas most of the time, I was so happy na sa GCash makakapag-load na ako ng RFID. Hindi ko na po kailangan pumunta sa store para magpa-load ng RFID. Natutuwa po ako na sa GCash, nasa-save ko na siya, yung Meralco ko na bill, for example, sa Pilipinas, tapos nababayaran ko na siya doon. Yun pong one-stop shop is something that is very, very convenient. Technology actually is geared towards that, to provide convenience to its users. But of course, meron po tayong tinatawag na pros and cons, but embrace it. Nandun na rin, baka iniisip nyo ba, ayoko ng AI as a teacher. Pero sa totoo lang, gumagamit na po tayo talaga ng AI in our everyday life. And we are actually gaining a lot of convenience, saving time, and making more time efficient, okay, decision making through the help of AI. So ito po, I was surprised when I was presenting working on my Canva presentation na andyan na siya. Nandyan na po, naka-embed na yung AI doon. Hindi na ako pupunta sa Google. So I hope you were able to somehow, na-amaze po ako, and I'm not sure if you were also amazed, but now that I'm seeing AI companion in Zoom, I'm not sure if Magister Servus was able to explore this new feature on Zoom and how is it working. Meron pa siyang summary button eh. I'm not sure if this is really how useful is that. Okay, so I'll present my screen again. And then I'll be focusing more this time on AI, on the use of AI in education. Okay. ChatGPT. Okay? Before, yan lang po yung maingay. ChatGPT, I'm not sure if you have your ChatGPT account already, but it is an open an open artificial intelligence platform na napakadali po, very accessible in a way na hindi siya paid, para siyang Canva, meron siyang free account. Pangalawa, pwede siya sa phone, may app na siya sa phone, pwede siya sa web browser, And i-check lang, wala na po masyadong tinatanong or wala talaga siyang katulad ng iba na marami pang hihingin. Sa kanya titingnan lang niya kung robot ka or hindi. Meron siyang mga questions to determine if you are a robot or not. Kasi syempre limited din yung mga ganitong platform sa kung human ba yung nakikipag-interact sa kanila or hindi. So ChatGPT icon, it looks like this. It's an open AI. And then I will actually move out from the presentation so that I can show you what a ChatGPT browser looks like. So I have my own account and this is how it looks like. Nakikita po natin yung tab ng ChatGPT. Let me know po. Okay. Yes po. Okay. So thank you. So this is the interface. Very, kumbaga parang ang boring naman, 'di ba? Parang ano. Pero kasi ang tawag sa kanya chatbot. Okay? So parang may kausap ka, as in may sumasagot sa iyo. Very interactive, very specific yung mga sagot. So for example, yesterday I type what does GPT stands for, just for you to know. Pwede ko pong i-type ulit yan para mag-generate siya ng panibagong sagot. So ito po yung button niya, and then there. So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Very technical po yan, okay? So for example, para malaman ko pa, what are the uses of OpenAI? Because ChatGPT is an OpenAI. So if I type that, it will generate there. Hindi man kayo pupunta sa Google tapos mamimili pa kayo ng resource, tama po ba? Pag tanong nyo, sasagutin niya. As in detail. Okay po? And what's fascinating, of course, fascinating po or amazing muna yung i-discuss natin dito, no? For example here, give me examples of ChatGPT or GPT, examples of GPT. Sabihin natin, give me 10 examples of GPT. Ganon po ka-specific. Certainly, here are 10 examples. As in, ibibigay niya po sa inyo kung ano exactly yung hinihingi ninyo. These are just few examples of how GPT can be applied in various domains to automate tasks, enhance productivity, and provide valuable services. May language, legal, and technical writing assistance. Wala na pong problema yung mga gustong sumulat dito ng mga ng mga yung ipapa-notarize nyo po. Language learning, text editing and revision, text completion, question answering system, text summarization, language translation na kailangan po ng mga travelers right now. Content creation, kailangan ng mga gustong magpa-monetize ng content nila sa iba't ibang social platforms, social media platforms, and chatbots. And ChatGPT is one of them. Chatbot po ang ChatGPT. Give me more, for example. Give me more examples. Para ka nga ding nakikipag-usap po sa Certainly, here, there. Sasagutin po talaga niya yung concern ninyo. And when I was using this initially before, talagang nakaka-amaze. See, talagang iba yung i-provide niya. Email generation, medical note generation, code generation, poetry generation, recipe creation, customer feedback analyst, generating product descriptions, generating new articles, psychological counseling. It can provide virtual counseling sessions by simulating conversations, offering empathy, and providing advice based on psychological principles and therapeutic techniques. Ganyan po ka-specific si ChatGPT. Okay? So, kung makita niyo po, wow, amazing talaga. Okay, mamaya na natin pag-usapan, of course, kung ano ba yung restrictions niya and everything na wala dyan. Okay, so ChatGPT are being used by most of the educators right now, but it is also being used by a lot of students right now. Okay? Baka nauna pa sa inyo, nauna pa sa akin, definitely nauna pa sa akin, or baka mas marami pa silang alam aside from ChatGPT. Okay? So, I just want you to experience that. Again, hindi po ako nag-endorse, but very helpful siya sa akin as educator, as a mom, as a learner, as a student, something like that. Hindi lang po nakafocus to sa akin bilang teacher. For example, gusto kong makakuha ng iba't ibang design if I'm designing an FB page. Okay? So, dyan, nakakakuha na ako ng ideas dyan. Okay. So, that's the interface. And so, the next videos that you're seeing on screen are the videos which I have considered watching as a math teacher. Okay, so how do I create a marking rubric using AI? What are the different math apps aside from ChatGPT? Photomath, Mathway, GothMath, gumagamit na rin po ako niyan ngayon. As a teacher, gumagamit na rin ako. Kasi I have to expose myself kung saan exposed din yung mga bata. Okay, yun po. Kailangan nating sumabay. We have to somehow be able to to explore their worlds right now, the present world. Kasi kailangan nating i-embrace yun eh. Hindi po natin dapat pinagbabawalan. Kasi kahit pagbawalan mo sa classroom, gagawin nila sa labas ng classroom. Kaya yung mga assignment niyo po sa math, ini-scan lang po nila yan para masagutan nila. Yung mga essay niyo po na pinapagawa sa bahay, ganun din po ginagawa nila. Gagawa sila, type nila sa ChatGPT, may essay na sila. Yung mga product po na pinapadesign nyo sa TLE, sa mga history questions nyo na gusto nyo pasagutan sa kanila, lahat po yan, ipapasok lang nila sa ChatGPT and tada, they have all the answers there. Okay? Pero just like them, you can also do that. Okay? So, paano po tayo as a teacher and student will be able to somehow adjust to this new trend in education? Okay, so, sabi nga dito sa screenshot na to, students are going to, sorry, paano na, 'di ba? Lahat ng homework ginagawa na nila through ChatGPT. Ano nang adjustment yung gagawin ko? Yayakapin ko ba 'to at titingnan yung mga positive uses? Ano bang gagawin natin as teachers? Okay? So, it is very relevant and very significant to know that we as educators, we are aware that curriculum is very dynamic. Okay? And it should be. It should be. Sa bilis po ng buhay ngayon na even ako na-amaze as a 50-year-old human being, na-amaze ako kung paano yung panahon before na walang phone, nung panahon na ang bigat ng phone, na one-liner or two-liner lang yung nasa screen, yung panahon ng smartphones, yung panahon na ang dami ng apps na pwede kong gamitin and everything is there sa cellphone ko. And I don't need actually anything except that to survive. Somehow, yung daily life routines ko, okay? And alam nyo pati yung mga smartwatches can check my pulse rate, can check my BP, can check my body temperature. Everything now is gearing towards that. So, dapat dynamic. At dahil dynamic siya, dapat nakakasunod tayo. Okay? At sobrang bilis ngayon. With the AI on hand, na si Elon Musk nga, 'di ba, sabi nila siya yung pinakamayaman, isa sa pinakamayaman because he is a visionary and because of that, he was able to transform the lives of the people through that vision, yung AI, yung kanyang mga self-driven cars, yung Tesla, all of those evolving technologies. So lahat, even si Google, na-trigger at natakot dito kay AI ni Microsoft, ni ChatGPT ni Microsoft. So Microsoft and Google are now developing everything that will somehow allow all their users to be more into AI technology. So teachers Yun nga, sabi nga nila medyo galaw-galaw tayo dahil we have to embrace it. Kahit nung narinig natin, sinearch natin, that's our first step. Yun nga, baby steps. And hopefully, itong seminar na to will allow you to somehow move one step closer to the realization of this. Okay? How written work might survive in the age of AI. Yun nga, sabi ko, essay, poem, math solutions, everything, recipe, nagpagawa kayo ng kanta, gagawin ni AI yan. Nagpagawa kayo ng artwork, gagawin yan ni Canva. Okay? Nagpagawa kayo ng storybook, gagawin yan ng lahat. Kahit na paper and pencil yan, pwede nilang kopyahin yan sa Canva. So, gaano tayo kasiguro na yung work na yon ay galing sa bata? Or ano ba yung magiging measurement natin pagdating sa grading kung yung work na yon ay hindi lahat sa bata? I hope you'll be able to reflect on that. Syempre hindi kanila yung work, obviously, but paano tayo mag-evolve as teachers in terms of defining the objectives of our assessments, okay? So iwan ko yung tanong na yun sa inyo as I progress in the discussion, okay? So ito po yung mga nangarag before sa Twitter. Tingnan nyo, last year pa to, yung Twitter hindi pa hindi pa iba pa yung logo, Twitter logo pa. Yung bird pa nila na logo. Feels like the world just sped up overnight. Nung time daw, a year ago. O 2022, 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago. Learning from its short essays is a lot easier than Googling. Tinalo na ni ChatGPT si Google. Kasi one click na siya eh. One click, very efficient, time efficient na siya. And then, pinasok na rin niya yung social media. Okay? So, if you will see here on the screen, naglo-loading lang po. Pero on the screen, you should be able to see a TikTok video here, how ChatGPT was used by a student, and then in-upload niya sa TikTok. So ayan, pinasolve po niya yung math problem, yan po yung sagot ni ChatGPT, blah blah blah. At hindi lang yan, sinolve ni ChatGPT step by step yung mathematical equation. Okay? Step by step, pinrovide niya yung answer. So kung may homework kayo, pinasok ng bata sa ChatGPT, dami answer na siya. Okay? So ibig sabihin, yung objective po nyo ng skill na solve this problem, kaya na po yan ni ChatGPT. Ibibigay na po niya yan sa bata. So you might want to rethink, what is another skill which I can, okay, use to revise the solve skill, okay? Kaya ngayon, marami po, and even before, marami po tayong skill ngayon na parang error analysis yung question. So meron siya, for example, meron siyang sagot ni AI, ni ChatGPT, tapos ito yung sagot ng bata. Pwedeng ipa-analyze nyo po sa bata, alin yung mistake at aling working out step yung may mistake or error. So kailangan mag-evolve na yung questioning style natin. Then, hindi na siya solve. Okay? Kasi pag wala silang laptop or phone that time, okay lang. Let them solve it. Pero pag homework nyo, pinasolve nyo, asahan nyo po, possible na mag-resort yung bata doon sa one click option. Okay? Pero kung halimbawa, ang homework nyo, pinasolve nyo sa school, walang laptop, okay. Tapos gusto nyo mag-practice sa bahay, yung bata. So, hindi na siya solve. Ang pwede nyong itanong is parang error recognition na or error analysis na, yung tanong na pwede nyong i-extend yung skill na yon pagdating sa homework nyo. Okay? Pero kung, yun as a math teacher, ganun ko siya tiningnan. But of course, for example, if you're an English teacher na nagpagawa kayo ng essay, tapos kaya ni ChatGPT or kaya ng batang gawin sa using AI, phrase that question or that task differently in a way na, okay, ma-access niya to, pero meron kayong mga guide questions to discern for the students to extend their skills outside yung gumawa lang ng essay. Okay po? And so here are the things that was taken from different resources. The benefits of AI in education is generally it is personalized learning. Dahil one-click approach nga siya, pwede ka na mag-differentiate. Accessibility is 24/7. Data-driven insights is very much into hindi na kayo kailangang mag-item analysis, okay, ng mano-mano, okay? Or kailangan yung tingnan yung bawat test paper ng bata sa bawat tanong. You don't need to do that. Enhanced content creation, language learning, and reduced administrative workload. Teachers, ChatGPT can give you different tasks in a single topic or skill set, okay? And it can provide you with exactly the way you want or envision your lesson plan to be. So may mga lesson plan na po siyang ipoprovide depende sa gusto nyong format ng lesson plan. That can be done through ChatGPT. I will not show it to you now, pero ang gusto ko pong mag-reflect tayo, pag tinry nyo po yon at na-amaze kayo at ginawa nyo at sinubukan nyo, imagine yourself as a student. Sa konteksto ng student ng bata na, okay, I have everything. So you as teachers, yung lesson plan na dinesign ni ChatGPT are generic lesson plan, okay? It might not be aligned with the learners na meron kayo sa classroom. So kailangan, kung yung generic lesson plan will allow you to submit at least a lesson plan or have a lesson plan guide or have that as a guide, pag in-implement at facilitate or in-administer nyo sa classroom, it has to be something na meron ng human touch. Meron ng educator's heart dun sa process. Yun po yung magdi-differentiate sa atin between the AI provided lesson plan and the human administered lesson plan. I hope you get that context from me as a personal user of ChatGPT and a teacher in the classroom. And the challenges are, of course, data privacy and security. It's a global thing. Hindi siya ginogovern ng local government or Philippine government. Equity and access, public school teachers, data privacy, equity and access, I know, kung merong mga bata kayo na wala pa ring cellphone, walang internet access, I know it will be a challenge. Bias in algorithms, I'm not sure if familiar kayo sa word na algorithm, you can search it up. Algorithm meaning, ano pa rin siya, dinedictate pa rin siya ng kung anong data yung available sa ChatGPT, for example. So, hindi, halimbawa, nung time na unang ni-launch yung ChatGPT, ang data na meron siya is up to year 2022 lang. That was the year of 2023. Sabihin, lahat ng data na pumasok sa web, sa internet, or sa web, sa any online platforms before, nung 2023, na hindi na-cover nung 2022, hindi siya ginawang basis ni ChatGPT. So in terms of timeline, yung algorithm, kino-cover lang niya kung ano yung pinasok sa kanya na data. Kung ano yung dinefine yung data sa system. I know it's very technical, but somehow that, in that note, doon ko siya naintindihan. Loss of human touch, as I've emphasized earlier, over-reliance on technology, which we need as educators to somehow safeguard our students to that over-reliance po sa technology, and of course, ethical concerns. Wala po itong boundaries. For example, may mga religion issues tayo. For example, dito po sa Qatar, Muslim country po siya. So meron kaming cultural boundaries. For example, siyempre yung paggamit namin ng ChatGPT, ibibigay niya generic eh. So kung meron po mga answers doon na related to different religions, we have to screen that. That's our responsibility as a teacher to screen that. Okay? Aside from that, yung mga pag-address din po ng racial discrimination concerns or gender bias concerns, something like that. Look into it as educators, lalo na sa sa pag-define ninyo ng philosophy ng school. For example, if you are in a Catholic school, you have to safeguard your students about other religious preference, okay? If you are an all-boys school, for example, you have to safeguard your students on other gender bias preference, something like that. So those are not covered by this because they provide generic information. The future, okay? AI-powered tutoring. Ngayon, ang dami na po. AI-enhanced curriculum, virtual reality and augmented reality, global collaboration, as I've mentioned earlier, and AI in assessment. Okay, so I will now focus on the assessment. These are actually the pros and cons. Later on, talaga bang medyo nasa tagilid tayo na posisyon ngayon as teachers? Kasi may AI tutoring na eh. So, baka mabura na ba talaga yung teachers sa classroom? We'll see. Okay? Kasi sinasabi ko nga, ang isa niyang cons is, wala siyang human touch. Pero nire-reduce niya yung human errors on the other hand. Okay? Human beings have limitation in terms of availability. AI has 24/7 availability. Okay? Hindi siya napapagod. Okay? Human beings, medyo nako-control yung cost pagdating sa teacher's salary. Of course, yung pagdating sa provision din ng AI or technology, meron ding naka-factor in na operations cost doon. Data identification and data analysis, yun nga, medyo limited din yung humans doon. But of course, para sa akin, as a teacher, yung human touch, yung education by the heart, yung human intervention, yung process of reflection and discernment, a lot of this will be addressed by physical teachers and not AI teachers. Okay? So, I'm seeing a good future for us. Kailangan lang nating mag-work hand in hand. At nakikita po natin yun dito sa screen. Okay? 21st learning skills, century skills should go hand in hand with AI. For example, ina-address ni AI ang critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, collaboration, okay? Somehow, communication, kasi nakikipag-usap din sila sa chatbot. But life skills, for example, hindi. Flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, confidence, mindset, growth mindset, social skills. Somehow, dahil nga hindi naman to physical na person, hindi naman to magre-respond in a way na i-consider yung feelings mo o yung present mood mo that time, okay? Yun yung wala yung AI. And I don't think magkakaroon siya in the near future pa. Okay, I'm not sure kung makaka-develop sila ng robot or AI na kino-consider na yung feelings ng tao. I'm not sure. Hindi ko po alam. I cannot answer that. But for now, there are 21st learning skills, that life skills specifically, that we should be naka-factor in sa lesson natin or sa teaching learning process na hindi kaya ni AI. So basically, public school teachers, I know medyo laid back kayo pagdating sa provisions ng technology sa classroom nyo. So but you also have to somehow look into it, okay, to this futuristic, as at least as educators po, and not dun sa teaching learning process per se. Okay, and so I have here something that you might want to explore later on pag sinare ko po yung presentation ko. And then AI in the Philippine education context. When I was researching for this webinar, I came to this resource, which is from a Filipino educator. Okay, I will share with you. The link is embedded here, so I'll be able to share with you the PDF copy. Dinownload ko na po siya. And the article was written and submitted to, so it's a professional article na po here. Okay. And what's good about this research article was that the Filipino author was able to somehow, in the context of the Philippine education system, okay, the implications of AI, Okay? In terms of potential benefits, challenges, and considerations for successful implementation. So, hindi ko po babasahin overall, but what I am emphasizing here is that tinitingnan na po sa Pilipinas yung somehow advantages and challenges and benefits ng AI in the context of the Philippines education system. I'll scroll up because I want to emphasize here that actually we are not aware. You may not be aware. I was not aware, but I was able to look at it here that at present there is an existing, okay, here in the Philippines na meron na pong nag-i-exist na ganito. AI is helpful in the education sectors, especially when paired with a high-quality learning material, which will help materials and instructions. Okay? Yun po yung kanyang citation. As the Philippine government's catapulted the national AI roadmap, meron na po palang ganon sa Pilipinas, and the establishment of the National Center for AI Research demonstrate the country's commitment to embracing AI technology as strategic direction, which expected the education to tailor its curricula. So this is really something that is trending now in the Philippine education system. And so I want you to somehow go over this research so that somehow as Filipino educators, nagkakaroon na tayo ng pag-asa na parang naka-align na, unti-unti nang ina-align yung curricula, yung education na, so syempre pag naka-align na yung curriculum, basically public school leaders will be able to somehow incorporate those budget of yung facilities budget po na nire-require ng AI-driven curricula. Okay? So I hope somehow that gives you an idea kung ano na siya sa Philippine education context. Okay? Konti na lang po tayo, and what I want you to somehow explore right now is on how we can actually use AI. Nakita niyo po sa Canva, no, na magagamit natin siya. But the next slide will allow us to somehow look into the possibilities of how we can assess through the help of AI technology. Siyempre, public school teachers, I know na nakafocus kayo medyo sa paper and pen assessments still right now. But kahit na paper and pen yan, yung pag-design ng assessment nyo, pwede ng AI guided somehow. Or AI revolutionized na rin through AI. Okay. So, I know medyo malayo pa. Pero malay natin, baka makakuha kayo ng sponsor, baka makapag-advocate kayo sa school ninyo. One of the benefits of AI is the virtual reality setup. Okay, so for example, meron po kami nito sa school, yung mga history teachers, saka science teachers, syempre hindi mo naman nakikita yung atom, ano po, unless pinanood mo siya ng video, nakikita niya. Pero yung with their bare eyes, yung mata talaga nakikita nila. Or hindi sila nakakapunta sa Paris, for example, or hindi nila nakikita yung history ng Asian civilization before. Kaya na po yun ni virtual reality na setup. Na try ko po ito na parang yung isang teacher sa social studies, may guided questions lang siya, pero pina-experience niya dun sa bata through the help of VR, yung makapunta dun sa ruins nung isang Asian civilization na country. So dahil nakapunta yung bata doon through VR, na-realize niya kung ano yung feeling na nandun ka mismo. Yung na-feel niya. Kumbaga, yun nga yung sabi, nakaka-empathize ka na kasi parang napuntahan mo siya eh. So somehow, history, math, sa math naman, na-try namin to yung 3-dimensional shape. Of course, nakakakita naman tayo ng 3-dimensional shape, pero yung VR nakakatulong din ma-visualize yung mga prisms, yung mga different, ang tawag dito, access ng 3-dimensional shape. Na of course, hindi nyo nakikita sa actual 3D shapes. Okay? So PE, yung mga may kalaban ka sa volleyball or sa table tennis or sa ping pong, na mga virtual yung ano kalaban, hindi mo na kailangan na lumabas, something like that. Of course, iba yon. Alam ko iba yung physical na may interaction between person to person, pero kaya na siya ngayon. Okay. Sa language and art, this is a video, okay, from YouTube kung paano yung language and art nakapag-collaborate to create a storybook. Ipi-play ko lang po for 2 minutes and then I want you to watch the video and then in the next few slides, we'll wrap up na po.
Welcome, guys. In today's video, we will explain to you how to create a short story book for children using ChatGPT and the Canva website. We will create a storybook for children like this one that I designed. The first step is to create a short story. Go to the ChatGPT website and artificial intelligence text generator. Write for me a short story for kids to learn something useful. Here I use the easiest prompt you can use to generate a story for children. But you can search more on the internet for more professional prompts. Now ChatGPT has created a useful short story for children. It is the story of a caterpillar that feels sad and wants to turn into a butterfly like its friends. I will now copy the story and paste it into Google Docs for us to use later. Now go to the Canva website and type in the search book story. Now click on the Create Blank option so that we open a page that is the appropriate size for the story. The next step is to change the page background to a different color. Here I have chosen this color.
Okay. I-forward ko na po, no? So that you will see how the storybook was designed through Canva. Canva po offers din yung free account niya with these features.
The next step.
Okay, so pwede nyo pong piliin.
After
yung-
that, open the transparency and reduce the value to 40.
Okay.
We want to make
So,
the image of
I'll
this
end
caterpillar.
that video there, but what I want to emphasize here is that isn't it that authentic assessment can also be interdisciplinary? So yung language and art can collab somehow to create a project, a PETA, where they can design a storybook with the language embedded in the storybook. Yung language requirement objectives embedded in the design of the storybook. Tapos yung art teacher should be able to design a rubric. It depends on how the objective of the art lesson is for that specific PETA. But what I want you to look into this is that ang ino-offer po niya bukod sa interdisciplinary is customization. Di ba mahilig po tayo ngayon sa, ayaw ko ng generic. Gusto ko yung nai-include ko din yung pagiging artistic ko when I customize. So, these platforms will allow you to somehow, as teachers, okay, wala nga po pa kayong provision para sa students nyo, as teachers, to be able to be exposed with these materials on hand. Na free account siya, tapos pwede nyo na rin ipatry sa mga bata, whether groupings or whatsoever, or kung meron naman kayong computer lab sa school, pwede nyo ding dalhin doon yung mga estudyante nyo para ma-explore to. Pero syempre, I highly recommend that you try it yourself first, okay? So, very, very promising po yung interdisciplinary. And lastly, as a math teacher, I will share this formative assessments that I have done through AI. Kasi self-marking siya, hindi ko na kailangang i-mark, immediate feedback then, data-driven, opportunities to improve. I know that may math teacher tayo sa group. I know that hopefully familiar din po kayo sa quizzes. Dito po sa, let me just open the platform for you. I'll share my screen with the platform. Ito na po yung mga sagot natin kanina. AI is able to mimic human thinking, yeah? How is it is programmed and how the algorithm works. If AI can learn by itself and think creatively, yun yung mga gusto nating malaman pa. Wait po kasi I have to check the quizzes button here. Let me know po, are you seeing the quizzes tab already? Bali, blank tab po siya. So usually, sa formative assessment sa math, I usually diversify my resources. Isa po dun yung quizzes. And so, for example, here, I have generated an existing quiz, for example. Existing po siya kasi may mga pre-designed na po na assessment. Pero for example, katulad nga nun, I want to customize it based sa kung ano pa lang yung naturo ko sa class. So, I can edit it, and when you edit, you will see here, I'm not sure, kita niyo po ba yung quizzes na interface? Okay, I'll check in the chat box kung, yes po, madami na gumagamit ng ChatGPT. Tama po, Miss Marybeth. If you can see the interface right now, if you edit this, you'll be able to somehow generate questions which are AI, from AI. Okay, so ang quizzes po, meron na rin siyang AI embedded na na feature. And what's good about quizzes is that it is automatically saved pag may account ka na po. So ito na po lahat ng quizzes ko na naparan sa mga bata. And then may reports din siya which will give you somehow an overall report. Yung data po na sinasabi natin, data-driven instruction. Makikita niyo po kung ilang percent ng bata yung nakasagot, ilang percent ng bata yung naka-complete, ilang percent ng bata yung nakasagot sa question 1. Kasi you will see here all reports and you will see here for which specific lang na class siya. Free po ito na account. We are not subscribing to quizzes, but I was able to use this. Kung public school teacher po kayo, you might want to try and generate different types of questions sa quizzes. Pero syempre po, kayo yung magmamark, hindi siya self-marking. But what's good about quizzes, it's as I've mentioned earlier dun sa slide, I'm sharing it right now, it is engaging kasi gamified na po siya. Gamified meaning pwede na siyang mag-produce ng, pwede na silang mag-compete sa pwede nga nilang kumbaga gamified siya in a way na engaging, na pwede silang mag-compete in terms of time, in terms of ilan yung nasasagot nilang 2-mark question or 1-mark question. So AI provides those engaging, creative, and gamified activities sa mga bata. And lastly, let me just present my screen again. My Canvas screen. Our time is almost 7. And so we have the last 3 slides, I think. Basically, kung mag-move na po kayo towards AI, it will answer yun pong issue natin about, okay, puro ba lang what, or ang mga assessment ko lang ba directed towards this order of thinking skills. Pero most of our assessment design should gear towards the why, the why behind it. The why behind making sense of the learning. Not anymore ano yung natutunan nila, ano yung naka-quantify yung natutunan nila, pero naka-qualify din somehow, titingnan yung quality of learning. And so the last video I have here will somehow focus on how the AI provides or how AI is being the catalyst for us educators to value. I-highlight ko po ito, ang ganda po kasi. To value the process and stages of student learning rather than the end products. Yun po yung huge opportunity na po present ni AI, and I just want you to view the video on your own. Okay, I'll share the slide presentation po through Canva. And the last slide here are the different AI tools for teachers na hindi lang nakafocus sa ChatGPT, sa math, meron sa language, meron sa iba-ibang course focus or subject focused AI technologies. And that will end my discussion today. So these are my suggested takeaways for you to reflect on. You just read whatever is on the slide, and I hope I was able to share my expertise, my experiences, my knowledge. Somehow learner pa rin po ako pagdating sa AI integration sa classroom, but I'm happy to learn with you, hopefully, in our next conversation po. Thank you very much, Magister Servus, and have a good day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the very rich sharing of knowledge and expertise on the roles of assessment, especially using AI in education as well as in assessment. Thank you so much. So, my dear attendees, if you have questions, you can type in that chat box, or you can unmute your mic for your question. So, nandyan pa po ba kayo? Merong question, ma'am, kasi one of the attendees also attended the webinar
Yes,
in
sir.
terms of the AI. Paano naman daw yung mga Filipino teachers, sabi nila sana all, they can also use the AI.
I know. Kasi sir, meron naman siyang, I don't know kung how useful it is. Yun pong, translator, tama po ba? May mga AI-based na ganun. Pero pagdating po sa language, Filipino language teaching, I hope a Filipino developer will be able to develop a Filipino targeted audience po pagdating sa AI used. Pero I understand po, wala pang local AI developed sa Filipino teachers. Pero generally, if you want to have like variety or suggestions sa pag-design ng lesson plan, as a language teacher, generally a language teacher, AI can help you provide that. Pero syempre yung mga activities ng Filipino classes, I'm not sure kung mapoprovide na siya ni AI.
So, ano lang, i-convert lang, i-translate sa English.
Ganon sa ngayon, sir. Ganon. Siguro i-challenge natin yung mga IT natin dyan sa Pilipinas to localize yung ganon provision sa app. AI generated. Yun. Thank you.
So I think there's no question because the discussion was clear and comprehensive. Pero from Ms. Maribeth, thank you so much po, ma'am. Ang dami ko pong natutuhan sa iyo. Na-amaze po ako sa Canva, especially pwedeng i-apply sa iyo.
Thank you, Ms. Maribeth. Ako din na-amaze. Sabay tayo.
Okay. So we can proceed with the awarding of speaking. Yung iba hindi na nakahabol, no? They miss this opportunity, especially the discussion. All right. So Magister Servus Certificate of Recognition. This certificate is awarded to Ms. Marylyn Dominguez of ACS International School, Qatar, for her invaluable contributions as a member of the National Technical Working Group and resource person to webinar workshop on innovative assessment for 21st century learners with the topic role of assessment and benefits and challenges of using AI in assessment, held this 24th day of March 2024. May you continue to be with us in helping countries around the world achieve quality education through global collaboration. Signed by yours truly. Thank you so much, Ma'am.
Thank you, Sir Edgar.
You can invite us also with your Casa de Soledad.
Sure, sir.
Excited makapunta.
Sure, sir. Okay.
So let us open again our camera so that we can have opportunity to be with our resource speaker today. Right, thank you for opening your camera. This is for documentation also. Hi ma'am, hindi pala ano yung Canva niyo, ay yung share screen. Hindi pala na-stop. Ayun, thank you so much. All right, on my cue, we are, ilan tayo? 7 na lang natira. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, smile. One more, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you so much. You may now turn off your camera. So moving on. Okay, so you can click. You can go to this link for the evaluation, or you can scan this QR code. But don't worry, again, this will be sent to your email. So let's end our
Let us put
session with a
ourselves
closing.
in the holy presence of our Lord. Thank you, Lord, for this successful seminar. We know that you have blessed us, hence this success. May you keep blessing us as we go out of this venue and apply what we have learned in our profession. Remind us that all that we do is for the service of other people. Make us realize that all our actions and plans should be done for your greater glory. Show us your divine guidance so that we could decide wisely and properly. Send your Holy Spirit so that we would not fear every challenge that comes our way. Make us realize that without you, we are nothing. All these we pray and offer to you in the name of our Christ Savior. Amen.
So thank you so much again. Thank you for attending session 3, and see you to our succeeding programs. It's an honor to be your learning service provider. Thank you so much, and good luck.